Keith at Bearfield Farms, where today we're going to put in some top feeders. Right, we made some and we got some, and we're going to use these boxes as the tops, these empty ones. I brought an extra in case somebody needed one, but I don't think they do. And then they'll take these jars right here. They have holes on the top, as you can see. And then we flip them upside down and put them in there. And you can see, hopefully here, the bee activity. There's a lot of bees going in and out today, which is a good sign. That's exactly what we want to see, a lot of activity here in the bee yard. So we're going to see what we see and get into these hives. So stay tuned as we put these on. We're not going to get into them very deep, but we're going to see if there's a little activity in each one, and then we'll determine what we're doing. I don't usually wear these gloves. Well, I do, but I don't. Usually for stuff like this. I'm gonna need some of these, and the wind is pretty bad today. I don't like getting in beehives when it's real windy, but it's gonna be it's sunny out, and it's supposed to turn cloudy and rainy later, so we're gonna get into them while we can. So alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with this one back here. It has a quilt box on it, so I'll bring you up a little closer, put you right there so you can see the action. Hopefully you can see what's going on right here. We're going to be right in here in this section right here. We're going to take this quilt box off, and then we're going to put a top feeder in it. So I do have a smoker out there in my truck. We'll see if we need it. See how every once in a while you get a bug or two in there, and that was actually I will go get the smoker. We'll let them know we're coming. We'll put a little smoke along the bottom here. Now I still have the bottom boards in. So, and I don't take them out yet. It's too early yet. And as you can see, this is what a quilt box does. I put these on some of my hives. Get these in the winter. They got pine shavings in them. And then down below, I put candy, which I suspect most of it's gone, or they're glued to it, which this happens sometimes too. Oh boy, they have expanded like crazy. Oh boy. So these guys need a super. Boy, hate to really gonna have to rethink that one. That's a new problem. We'll probably come back to that one. That one I'm gonna have to think about for a minute, but for now I'll put it back together. That's where I was gonna start, but they've got me rethinking that process, because they are already up in the top laying, and they made honey or comb all the way up in the very top, which usually doesn't happen. Occasionally it does. So this one here, we got a few ants in, as you can see. Got a few ants. That's normal this time of year with the sugar boards. So we just scrape that off. We're going to take this sugar board off of here. And I'm a little later than I like, and they might have glued it down with a little comb. You see they got comb in there. Now one thing we want to make sure is we don't have the queen in here. She is not up here, but they are laying like crazy. which this is a good problem to have. We hate to sacrifice this comb out of here already, but I'm going to. I didn't think we'd have this problem yet, but we do. So we got to get rid of all this in here. Set this over here. So they are full. So I need to bring up a super and put on here. I'm just going to close it back up and run up to the house and get a super, but I wanted to get this off of here first. It's a good thing I did wear these gloves, because they're going to be mad at me. I need 2 supers already. And I'm just going to put this cover on there for a second, just that way they're not exposed. All right, we're going to knock these guys off up here by the front. It gets rid of most of them. Man, hate to see that. There's a drone already. Right there's a drone. See that guy right there? That is a drone. See the big eyes? Right there, there's the big eyes. That's a drone. His job is to go out and fly. Letting him go. Man, they ate all the sugar off this completely clean. Look at that. I've never had one eaten that clean, so they did a good job. I will be right back. I didn't plan on supers, but I'm going to bring some supers back. So we're back. I picked up a super right here, and I'm going to go with 9 frames this year. That will hold 10, but I'm going to go with 9. And the reason for that is they'll build the comb out a little bit thicker, and it'll be easier to decap this year. Now, normally when I put supers on, I don't put a feeder on, but this is still very early spring. Nothing's blooming yet. So once the blooms start happening, then I'll come out here and pull these feeders off. But right now, I want them to build out larvae as much as possible, and I don't care that they're putting larvae up here right now. I do not care. So get my hive tool here. I'm going to compress that away from the side there. But what I usually do is shake it, and they kind of fall into a pretty good pattern, and then you just kind of push them a little bit. But you want them to have a little extra space between them. Not a whole lot of extra space, but just a little. And they sell a tool to set them at 9 if you really want to, but I'm not going to. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and put a feeder on here. So this is the feeder right here. And then I need the mason jars, which are right here. And these, all you do is make sure the lids are on tight, turn them upside down this way, make sure that a bunch of bubbles aren't coming up, right? And they're not, so that's good. Turn it tight. Again, make sure not a lot are stenting up. Get your bee off there. Take your, now this screen over here is to put patties on in the front, but I don't have any today. Get them out of there. So the idea here is, now I can put my top cover on there too if I find it. Where'd my top cover go? I didn't have one. Oh, I didn't have one because this was a you don't need a top cover for this one because you got this in here. All right, so then that's that. Now the only reason why I'm putting sugar on right now is because the dandelions are just starting, right? The dandelions are one of the first flowers that the bees get, at least here in Ohio. And you know, your daffodils and things are blooming, but there's not a bunch of trees blooming yet. In a week or two, that's going to change. This is about the end of the March here, so it's going to change. So I won't be feeding a whole lot for very long, but the idea is to get them started so they build this brood up. And I'm really sorry I had to kill a bunch of brood there, but it is what it is, I guess, at this time of year. Put that up there and I'll pick it up out there. All right. This hive, I believe this hive died out on me. There's a lot of bees surrounding it. And there's a lot of bees going in and out. So maybe it didn't die on me. Maybe it didn't. We'll take a look. We'll take a look here and see what we got going on. This one's got a quilt box on it, as you see. This has got the activity inside, so not for sure that it's dead, but we are going to look in this one. This is a bunch of sugar right here. This is leftover sugar from the we're going to take this all pretty much out of here and just toss it out here in the yard, away from the hives. If the bees want it, they'll get it. I guess I could just go that way with it. But we're going to take a look in here and see if they're actually alive, or if this is just robbing going on or whatnot, because there's a bunch of honey in here. Because I don't trust this hive here. That don't look good. Looks like they stored a bunch of the sugar in there. See that? It looks like a bunch of sugar got stored, just straight sugar. So I don't think this hive has any bees in it. I think this is 100% robbing going on here. There's even a, yeah, it's definitely a robbing scenario. See that bumblebee? Get him out of there. So this one's definitely a robbing scenario. This hive is toast. That's okay. I'll come back to it maybe tonight after sundown. I'll come out and grab it. That's definitely 100% robbing going on there. So there's nothing going on in that hive, which is what I figured. I figured they either froze out or willy worm. Something happened to them over the winter. So you get that occasionally. We'll tear that hive down tonight and clean it up. Oh, that's not good. That's the piece to my can. Huh. My can fell apart right here. Huh. All right, so we're gonna go back to this hive that we were at earlier, where we've got a big mess. This hive, as you recall when I took it off, they built a bunch of comb in there, and I really got to clean that up before it gets bad. Bad. They're not going to be happy with me, but we do have to fix that. So we are going to fix it now while it's early spring. So all this comb here on top needs to come out, and I just run this over it and then shake them, take the bees out. They will get mad at me here. they're gonna get mad. But that's all that we can do. And the sad thing is, this is a bunch of good comb that would have been great in a super or something. But it is what it is. Looks like a bunch of drone brood too. That looks like drone brood to me. So they were gearing up to now you're asking, why are you leaving the white stuff? They will reconsume those. That's protein though. I mean, it's technically larvae of bees, but the bees will consume those. So we'll just leave it for them. We'll get rid of this bumblebee out of here. This is the downside of this time of year, because everybody's looking for food, right? So I'm going to go ahead and again pop a super on there. Not necessarily that they need a super, but they need some space. And once the flow starts, then what'll happen is let me get this situated, and then I'll tell you what I was thinking. So once the spring flow starts, then I'll come back out, take the feeder off. These are already built out comb, as you can see, so they're going to be right on it pretty quick, which is good from a standpoint of they could use it right away. The queen can come up here and lay, and it'll give them a bunch more brood room. And then if I put a feeder on it like this right here, now these jars are a little smaller because these are what I had. So again, make sure the lids are tight, turn them upside down, make sure there's not a big bubble, turn it upside down, make sure there's not a lot of bubbles coming. And then we just need one of these to put on here, like so. Oh boy, forgot to knock all those bees down, so I gotta dump this wood chips out here. So all those bees will need to get back into the hive. Where'd my take my tool over here? So we gotta, you'll see there's a cluster of bees right there. I dumped them out right in front of their hive. They'll crawl back up and go right back inside. All right, so that one's done. I'll just throw this top cover on here. It doesn't really need this guy anymore. This Man Lake one is a little weird size, so it's not the best. I'll end up flipping that one out for another one here at some point. All right, then we're on to this one. This one's got some activity. Should have a sugar board on it. Again, we got a few ants. Hopefully we don't have too much craziness. We do. Oh, they even stuck some honey up here. Oh boy. Shake them off in there. I'll deal with you guys in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, these guys ain't happy with me. the idea here is to get it all off there pretty quick. I'll come out tonight and pick all this honey up, all this comb up after they all go back in the hive. If I can get it clean, I usually do, but there's a lot of bees on this, there's a lot of honey on this, so I'm going to put it out there, let them fight for it. All right, again, I'm going to put a super on that one. This is a good problem to have this early in spring, just so you guys know that bees are needing space this early, and that means they're starting their process already, which is what I want them to do. All right, why is this not cooperating with me? Yeah, I know you guys are not happy. Let me get you capped down in there. All right, so now they can't get out other than the front door. They can't get back in other than the front door either, which, you know, is what it is, but that's fine. Then I need 2 feeders. And the nice thing about these little jars like this is I can come out here every day, feed them, you can come out every day and feed them, and then as soon as the flow is back on, we can remove it. And then you've already got a super up there. And yes, it'll have some brood in it, but the advantage is you've already got a super on. You're ready to go. So this one should be the same. It should have a candy board on it. I probably should have been here about a week earlier or 2 and removed these, but it was cold and I didn't want to disturb them. Now these guys have not gone to town like the other ones, right? I have a super, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on here because the other ones need it. But they don't look to be built up as much. You know what? I might not do that. We'll take a quick look at the next box down. On this one. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of bees down there. Okay, we will put the super on. I was a little worried that there wasn't that many bees in the bottom, but it's full. So we'll go ahead and pop this guy on there, even though it's not, I don't normally would do this soon, but we're having a pretty good spring. Temperatures are pretty nice. Temperatures are pretty nice, and we're gonna roll with it. Let me stick this guy right here on there, like so. We'll get 2 jars. Again, no big bubbles. Put our top cover, our top box on. This happens to be one I've used for a bee trap or a swarm trap before. And just like that. So let me know what you think on what I'm doing here. I just threw top feeders on, supers on because they're out of space, not because they need it for honey collection yet. And as you can see, a lot of these bees have worked their way back up to the front of that hive right there. So they're working their way back up. They'll get in there before the night's over, if you were worried about that. So let me know what questions you got and why I did what I did, but